Welcome to 5 Minutes, your quick dive into the wide-ranging world of insurance, technology, and leadership. I'm Miguel Edwards, and I'll be your guide as we explore these topics that are transforming not just the insurance industry, but the business world at large. Along with sharing observations I've made over the span of my career in insurance, technology, and operations, I'll be chatting with some of the brightest minds in business and leadership. Whether you're a seasoned executive or a rising star, an industry expert, or just curious about how technology is revolutionizing insurance, this is your perfect spot for your weekly dose of insights. This is 5 Minutes. I've asked myself this question, and I fail at coming up with a cogent answer 100% of the time. And I'm going to ask it to you and see if you've got something, which is, technologists and I would offer, financial folks are similarly built in a kind of a risk-adverse way, right? Whereas we're always kind of looking at where the technology is going to fail, or where the implementation is going to fail, and what do we do about that? Financial analysis is all about where are the risks in the system and how do we mitigate that accordingly, and making where are the audit risks, the audit control point, all of that stuff. How do we as technicians acknowledge that element of our DNA, but still allow ourselves to envision the art of the possible and take the necessary business risks that allow for 109% growth?
Great question. And I might not be the best to answer this because I think I was a bad auditor, because I always had this filter on why are we asking about this question? Like, this seems irrelevant. This actually isn't driving the business. And so I do think you have to have that filter, as you say, to what's gonna be the biggest business impact here. We routinely have conversations about should we develop this new product, a stripped down coverage thing, as we were talking about earlier. Should we do that? Yeah. And it's kind of like, hold on, what's the opportunity? Let's make sure we're focused on going after the a product, a carrier, a capacity, a distribution partner that's going to address 75% of the problem, not the one that addresses 10% of the problem, right? I don't know. I don't know technology yet. I am learning. I will get there. But it's been interesting to work with our technology team more closely over the past couple months.
Amen to that. All right. Well, last question for you, man. And it's another one of those kind of crystal ball questions, and one that has a little bit of a technology flavor to it. But as you look at the advancements coming in technology just around the board, I can't have a conversation about technology without AI coming up, that type of thing. As a business leader, what are some of the things you're looking forward to capitalize on? What are some of the things that you're hoping are going to have the most significant impact on growing your business?
On the AI front, topic we've obviously spent a good amount of time discussing as a leadership team. Our view, and not surprisingly, is, I'll call it human in the middle, of understanding what is the power of AI, how can we use this, and it's different within each of our functions, right? Mm-hmm. The underwriting team can use AI to process, large quantities of data, the historical risks that we've had on the books for the past 6-7 years, all sorts of information that just, you weren't capable of computing at that speed in the past. And so their use is very different than our operations team that is looking at, okay, how do we make the existing chatbot more functional, provide better answers, more specific to what this, insured is looking to get at? How do we make that quicker? Which is different from claims. And so we've really taken this approach that each functional leader has to be engaged in the AI conversation, has to be focused on how are they using it. It's not enough to just know that it's out there, but you have to adopt this in some way, because it's not realistic that you're going to tell us it doesn't fit within your function. But yet we don't want to mandate that it's going to be done this way, because it's so different for everyone. So that's a little bit, we're still evolving in this AI journey that we have. But I think that foundational principle that I started with of human in the middle, we will develop all these tools, we'll put them in to practice and then monitor very closely for an extended period of time, even to the point where once our true Bamboo onshore team is done and says it works, we'll send everything, offshore for a BPO office to double check, like as a quality control for an extended period of time. Sure. As well. To us, it goes back to the underwriter's carrier mentality at heart. Quality is above all, and loss ratio is above all.
Do I hear in that though, Taylor? Because I picked up on something where you were talking about your functional leaders. Is there a cultural dynamic where, from a leadership perspective, you are actively encouraging your functional leaders to be thinking about and driving that conversation about AI? Because that's something that I think is new for me, talking to someone in their company about how they're driving AI adoption. Did I hear that right?
Yes, absolutely. We have put together a group of functional leaders and essentially said we're going to be, well, I won't say we're on the forefront of turning AI loose. Sure. We want to be on the front of how are we applying AI within our business. And AI means a lot of things to a lot of people. So I think that's a good one to establish too. But how are we continuing to evaluate what tools, technologies are out there? And in a lot of these, we touched on this earlier, will be third-party solutions. Mm-hmm. We're not going to build our own chatbot as an example. Right? Yeah. We're going to partner with somebody who we believe is best in breed, has whatever XYZ qualifications that we're looking for, and implement that in a modular format.
Thank you for joining this episode of 5 Minutes. If you've enjoyed our discussion, we'd love for you to share it with anyone else you think might find it interesting. Also, please subscribe on whatever podcast platform you're listening on and hit that bell to stay on top of the game with our practical 5-minute episodes. We look forward to seeing you again next week.